All right, it's time now for an update from the Indian Premier League as Sunrisers Hyderabad secured a win in the bottom of the table match 43 over Chennai Super Kings at their home ground in Chennai earlier on Friday. The Sunrisers won the toss and put CSK to bat, dismissing them for 154 in 19.5 overs. The bowling effort was led by Pat Cummins and Jaidev Unadkat with 2 wickets each before Harshal Patel came in to take the best figures of the match, 4 for 28. South African Dewald Brevis and the CSK top scorer with 42 of 25 deliveries, supported by 30 from opener Ayush Matre. The Sunrisers had a tough start to their run chase, losing their openers early to be 37 for 2 after 6 overs in pursuit of 153 for victory. 155 for victory, but 44 from Ishan Kishan and 32 not out from Kamindu Mendes pushed them to 155 for 5 to win with 8 balls to spare. Well, let's now hear from both captains, the CSK's MS Dhoni and Sunrisers skipper, a much relieved Pat Cummins.
I think we kept losing wickets, and another thing is I felt, in the first innings, the wicket was slightly better, and 155 is not a justifiable score, because it wasn't turning a lot. Yes, after the 8th, 9th, or 10th overs, it became slightly too paced when it comes to the fast bowlers, but nothing, that was out of the ordinary. So I feel, we could have run slightly better and put a few more runs on the board. Yes, second innings, there was a bit of help, our spinners, the quality is there, so they're bowling in the right area. They got a bit of bounce. It was stopping a bit, but yeah, we were short by 15-20 runs.
That's it. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, a few things came together tonight. The boys play well. Always get pretty down after a few losses, so good to see a few more smiles.
All right, well, we just heard from both captains, and Lance, of course, the Chennai Super Kings captain, MS Dhoni. There's been a lot of talk about him and how he continues to play and all of that. In his post-match interview, saying that his team was a couple runs short. Well, I won't say a couple, a lot of runs short. And, of course, they paid the price for that.
Yeah, you know what? These are two teams that are struggling for confidence because the Sunrisers Hyderabad had lost 6 of their 8 matches going into this one. The Chennai Super Kings have now lost 7 of 9, with this defeat included. So I can see where leading either of these teams, you're on edge because the teams, neither of them has delivered for you so far. I saw you mention that Pat Cummins was relieved to get the result because the Sunrisers Hyderabad have been awful since the start of the tournament. So I think MS Dhoni recognized that they didn't put enough runs on the board and it was hard to defend it.
Yeah, for sure. And Sunrisers, after finishing the game, this victory will, ignite or reignite their hopes again, Lance, because, a couple matches left, but based on the table, and I'm going to assume that you're pulling up the numbers over there, you never know with the upcoming matches if the Sunrisers Hyderabad have the opportunity. So let's take, wow. They're in 8th position, Lance.
Yeah, but not too far from. They're just 4 points off a playoff spot.
Just about to say that, because if we look higher up the table, Mumbai on 10 points, Punjab on 10, Lucknow as well on 10 points, and Sunrisers, they've played 9 matches. Because I was looking now to say, do they have an extra match in hand? Yeah. But again, with the remaining matches, you never know. A turn in fortune can, of course, have the Sunrisers Hyderabad competing for a playoff spot based on this points table.
Yeah, the bottom of the table is still within reach of playoff spots because of how many matches are remaining. We keep making the point that the playoffs will start on the 20th of May. Today is the 25th of April.
So like a month on average.
There's still a lot of cricket left to be played. But at the same time, you've got to improve your form.
No, but now is the time. Now is the time. Like earlier.
You've got to improve your form because, yeah, you can say that there are a lot of matches left for you to recover. But if your results keep,
going up
in the red, or you keep getting L's beside you instead of W's, you will not be able to recover the points that you need. So these two teams are really struggling because I know Sunrisers would be happy with the result they got today, but I don't think it was an emphatic, convincing victory. And both of them have been inconsistent. They had losing streaks, won a match or two, then started losing again. So I think Pat Cummins, while he will be happy with what happened today with the result going in the Sunrisers Hyderabad's favour. He has to get his team to play better cricket and get some more wins under their belt.
Yeah, and good on Sunrisers, Harshal Patel today. He picked up 4 for 28. So, you know, it's something as well that contributed to that win. The bowlers, you know, doing pretty well for Sunrisers. And as I said, you know, sometimes when the bowlers get the opportunity to go first and they're able to limit the team to a low score, it's obviously very easy for the chasing team sometimes to get the job done. Still, though, I'm not going to just say that as the gospel, because of course we've seen many chances where teams were chasing and a low total lands appeared as if it was a massive one.
Yeah, and you know, for CSK and their recovery, they would feel that they have some bowling strength to get back into the picture, because Noor Ahmad is one of the top bowlers in the tournament at the moment. I think Josh Hazelwood and Prasid Krishna are the only bowlers with more wickets than he has. So if you have a bowler that can do a lot for you and restrict your opposing team's numbers with how many runs they end up scoring, that is a plus. But it's a team game and the players have to click. If your bowlers do well and your batsmen fail, chances are you won't get the result you want.
No, and based on what MS Dhoni said today, you know, too few runs, too short, and you know the batters getting dismissed in the way, because at one point in the match today, they required 10 of 16. You know, the chase was going on and all of that. But I'm just saying, you know, the manner in which Chennai Super Kings lost their wickets lands, to me, very, very poor at this level.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of pressure on these teams. As I said, when you have a losing record and you're not getting the wins to boost your confidence, things get very difficult for you. And it's the kind of atmosphere that will weigh heavily on the players' confidence. And you hear, you know, coaches and captains talk all the time about confidence. You have to back yourself and feel confident about what you're doing, because it is the first step to getting the result that you want.
Yeah, and one of the things I note is that, you know, dressing rooms where the team is always losing always has tension.
Yeah.
And that again
That's
affects,
unavoidable.
Yeah, because who takes the blame for all these losses? Anyways, up on a break again, and when we come back, we'll be talking some interactive. Let's see what we have for you this week. Break time.